The Virtual Endurance Championship is by far the biggest league in R-Factor 2. Since season 13 is nearing, here is a quick guide to the 13th season of the Virtual Endurance Championship. First we will start off with what cars are being used. There are a total of 3 classes in the Virtual Endurance Championship. First off we have the quickest class, which is the Le Mans Hypercar, and then we've got the just a little bit slower class, the LMP2. Interesting thing to note though, is that at some tracks, if they're twisty enough, the LMP2 is very near as quick as the Hypercar. This is due to that the Hypercar has a lot more power, but in the turns the Le Mans prototype can outperform it. Last year in Germany, when it was wet, there were a lot of cases where the LMP2 was actually quicker than some Hypercars. Next up, there's the GTE. This is the slower class, easier to drive, and it exists out of 5 different cars. First you've got the Aston Martin, then you've got the BMW, then you've got the Corvette, the Ferrari and the Porsche. All those cars have a BOP, so they should be evenly matched. Now let's go to the preseason. The preseason doesn't count toward the actual season points. This preseason is being used to put all the teams in the correct division. More on that after this. So preseason exists out of 2 races, one of them being Silverstone, and after that we go to Imola. So these 2 races decide in what division you start your season in. There's Division 1 being for the quickest drivers and Division 3 being for the slowest riders. So the difference between divisions isn't only how quick the drivers are. Division 3 for example, last season didn't have the Hypercar class, and for this season Division 2 won't have the Hyperclass in it either. So there are only limited slots available, and for the Hypercar class that meant some Hypercar teams actually had to go to the LMP2. So now everyone is sorted in a division. This doesn't mean though that the entire season you will stay in that division. So here's the schedule. The first 2 races will be the 8 hours of Silverstone and Nürburgring 6 Stunden, so the 6 hours of Nürburgring. After that there is a chance for you to move up or down a division. If you get good results in Division 2, you can end up in Division 1, and if you get bad results in Division 1, you can end up in Division 2, and that also goes from Division 2 and 3. Every 2 races this happens, so after the first 2 races you will have the 6 hours of Imola, the 6 hours of Nola, and then you have again a moment where you can move up or down a division. After that we've got the 8 hours of Indianapolis and the 1000 mile of Sebring. After that there's the Suzuka 6 hours and 1 race that has yet to be announced. This isn't all of the races though, because of course we end up with a 24 hour of Le Mans. So there are some basic rules here. To avoid people driving the entire race on their own, there is a maximum driver time of 70% of the race distance. This is around 16 hours for a 24 hour race. Because yes, at Le Mans it's also 70%. What is different than usual endurance races is that you get the green flag once you cross the finish line. Which means that if the one in front of you crossed the finish line, he got green flag and he can go off. And you still have to drive the 80 kph speed limit until you cross the line, and then you can go. This to avoid big pileups in turn 1 for longer races. Which is to avoid people who put in a lot of time being wrecked by some first lap hero. So then you're off and an accident happens and one car is limping home. At this moment they can put in a code 80. They will announce the code 80 by starting a 10-second countdown. At this moment, instantly there's no overtaking allowed, even not over a GTE when you are in a hypercar. Once those 10 seconds are passed, you are expected to be at 80 kph. If you are over that, you will get a drive-through, or maybe even worse depending on how severe it is. Once the code 80 is over, they will again do a 10-second count until it's going green. It is still the responsibility of the car behind though, that if the car in front reacts later to that green flag, to avoid the car in front. And this also is the case once starting the code 80. So now you finish the race and you wonder how many points you get. First off, you get participation points. This means if you drive in the race, you get a standard amount of points. This being different for every division because you can go up and down divisions through the middle of the season. This means Division 1 you get 50 points, Division 2 30 and Division 3 10. On top of that, if you've finished 50% of the race distance or more behind the class winning car, so for example the class winning car does 100 laps, you need to do at least 50 laps to be eligible for the finishing positions points. If you're first, you get 30, if you get second, you get 25, then you get 21, 18, 16, and then it's 1 less for every position behind. Over the season though, there is a big chance you'll need different drivers, or for 24 hours you need more drivers. In total you can do 6 driver lineup changes. Well, that is, unless you pay money, then you get 10. So this was a quick guide to the Virtual Endurance Championship Season 13. I will put down a link in the description below towards simracing.club, which are the organizers of these events, to the updated rulebooks, because they can change, and to the full schedule. Also, I'll link down below the link to all the live streams and the YouTube page where they live stream from. And of course, on my channel you will probably see live streams from our car personally. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.